Yo, what is going on, you slackers? I am your host, Slackerz Gaming, bringing you another Rate Their Chances video today. It is Sunday, that time of the week again, where I will be going over a certain character per video. So, real quick, if you haven't seen the series, every Sunday I do at least 2 videos of Rate Their Chances. I will be going over pros for each character, I'll be going over cons for each character, and then at the end I will be giving my opinion in percentage-wise, 0 out of 100 for what I think their likeliness is for the upcoming Super Smash Bros. Game. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. And as you can tell on the screen, today's character of choice is Springman. Now, Springman did have that this doesn't have to do with anything, but there was a guy that created a fake leak of characters about maybe a month or so ago, and it had Springman and Decidueye. That just kind of shows, people expecting, what characters, of course, Springman being a brand new IP on the Nintendo Switch, and the game has sold over 1 million copies. I believe it's around, maybe it's above like 1.4, 1.5 million copies sold, and that's really good for a new IP. And of course, Springman is the face of the game. He is on the cover after all. He was the first character shown off in the game for ARMS, so that's kind of the positive for that, brand new IP. And of course, if you're kind of shown as the face of the new IP of the brand, Sakurai kind of tends to lean that way towards for new characters. He kind of stays away from obscure characters for the most part. So definitely being the face of a brand new IP that has sold pretty well. The fan base might have kind of trickled off over the past few months or so, but there's still people that play it. So that's good. But he definitely would have a unique move set. Absolutely, of course, the range for his arms, his attacks, that could be kind of called into question, but, you don't have to make it reach, one punch doesn't have to reach, from one side of the stage to the other, depending on how big the stage is, keep it within reason. You could have a pretty good, like, medium to semi-long range for his moveset, obviously, but then you can try to balance it out with something like maybe his mid-air game is kind of, not the greatest, but then you kind of have like another little Mac on your hands, and I don't know if we really want that too much, but just moveset potential wise, it is absolutely there. So that is good for him, but I think now we got to move on to the cons. So the cons, not much of a personality, and when you're looking at a character, I think especially Sakurai, he said this before. I believe he said this. I haven't actually seen this, but everyone claims he said it, so I'll believe it, everyone, I guess, for some reason. I heard it on the internet. It's got to be true. But personality-wise is a big factor when determining new characters. And Springman, for the most part, a lot of people, including myself, don't really believe Springman has too much of a personality. Yeah, because, there's just more characters in ARMS that people kind of gravitate towards. Characters such as Twin Tail, for an example. They kind of, more people, kind of recognize her, I guess, more than anything. So that's kind of a negative, especially like if you're the face of a franchise and people don't really, gravitate towards you too much. There's, another, I don't want to call it a side character, but, like another character on the roster that people gravitate towards even more, then that kind of hurts your chances, I suppose. But here's kind of a neutral thing that I was thinking of. I've said this several times for ARMS characters. If they do get in Smash, just make them character alts, just palette swap. You could have your Springman, you can have Ribbon Girl, you can have Twin Tail, Max Brass, and Joe. You can have all those characters, Same thing like how they did with Bowser Jr. and the Koopalings. You can just do that. That way, the eight most popular ARMS characters, you can just throw them into the game, and there you go. And maybe down the line you could get more costumes for them, whether it's DLC or whatever it might be, but the possibility for other characters in ARMS could be there just in palette swaps or character swaps, character alts, whatever you want to call it. So that is absolutely I think it's more of a neutral than a con, but I did want to bring that point up because a lot of people are like, yeah, there's other characters from ARMS that would be, that probably would be worthy more than Springman, but of course he is the face of the franchise, so that's what he's got going for him. But another con I want to go over is the timing of ARMS. Now, Smash Bros. Was in development, we believe, somewhere between early 2016 and mid 2016. So it depends on, if Sakurai had any of the ARMS characters on his radar when he was developing this Smash game. So when exactly did ARMS go into development? Did Sakurai know about the character? Was he told, hey, we have this new IP coming out for the Switch and we'd love you to include one of these new characters? That's a possibility, but then again, we don't know for sure. And, again, timing of games can absolutely hurt a character's chances for getting into the initial roster for Super Smash Bros. And we've seen it before in the past, and we'll probably continue to see it again in the future. But just like last game on the Wii U and 3DS, there's always the possibility of DLC. And if Springman or anybody from ARMS does not make it into the initial roster of Smash, I believe Springman, or an ARMS character at least, has a very good shot to be DLC at the least. It's kind of almost guaranteed. Game sold well. People know the character. It seems more than likely that we'll have an ARMS character in Smash Bros. So, for my final opinion, my final percentage, I'm going to give Springman, or we'll just say ARMS characters in general, 65%. I believe, but I'm going to lean more towards the DLC side of things. It'll come after the initial roster, because more than likely we're getting DLC characters again this time, which I can't wait, but we still got to see what the initial roster is. But I do have Springman 65%. I believe ARMS is definitely going to be receiving a character, but I'm leaning more towards the DLC side of things. I think just the timing of when ARMS went into development and when, the beginning plans for Smash came into effect, how did those two coincide with each other? Not really sure, but that's all I got for this one. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. What would you rate Springman or any ARMS characters for that matter? Would you rather have just one ARMS character, or would you, with character swaps, kind of like I was saying, you can have your Springman, your Ribbon Girl, your Twin Tail, you can have all those characters, or would you rather have two ARMS characters? Because for the most part, they all kind of play the same. They're all going to have their range and their punching and stuff like that. I think character alts would be a better way to go for ARMS characters. That'd be so much cooler, in my opinion at least. That way it helps cover the game. It's just so much better. Just so much better. But yeah, let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. What is your percentage for any ARMS character? Let me know. I love to read this stuff. But with that being said, this one's coming to an end. Hopefully we catch you guys on the next one. Peace out, everybody.